Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's talk about how to practice. Practice. I do quite a lot of reckless practice where I take my careful self and I say, I'm just going to play it as I want to play it. And that pushes me on and helps me to see what I can do and what I can't do, and then I go back to careful practice again. So I think a mixture of careful, slow practice, examining everything, and reckless practice is great. I mean, I'm quite a careful person. I like to know where I am and everything. And I need to release that a lot in my practice and be a bit more open, reckless. And it doesn't mean to say I'm going to play recklessly, ultimately, but it pushes my playing further on. It's a part of my practice where I'm releasing a lot of things, and I need to actually practice that. If you're careful all the time and you're suddenly faced with performing and you've got nerves and everything, that's a real test of your carefulness, because it usually breaks down and you haven't really imagined. You need to imagine that you're performing. The practice is really a preparation, isn't it, for some kind of performance? And the performance can be a shock if you haven't actually prepared for it. It can suddenly fill your body with adrenaline. You get little shakes, and you start worrying about things that you never worried about before, like simple things like moving into third position. And that's because preparation and imagining. So practicing is a lot more than just the mechanics of being in tune and playing the right notes. Practicing is a preparation for something, and it can be as thorough as you like, but it might be missing some crucial elements, some psychological elements, some elements of imagination. And I think imagination is something that is so needed. So there's a lot you can use very simple scales for bowing, for left hand, for loosening exercises. I think loosening exercises is a very neglected art. There's an art to loosening the muscle groups while you're playing. For example, letting your shoulder go very, very low while you're playing, and then putting it into position again. Letting your shoulder go back and your head go back. Doing the little Hilary Hahn exercise of Hilary Hahn has a very long neck, a lovely stance, and her chin is set quite far back, if you might have noticed, very much like a ballet dancer. You can actually give yourself a little Hilary Hahn exercise, and it does wonders for the back of the shoulders, right around the back, because violinists spend so much time with their arms like this, and just doing that, just a simple movement of um, lifting the chest and tucking the chin in, can give such relief to the muscles at the top of the shoulder and the back of the neck. So there's all kinds of things that, in order to stop rigidity and to practice um, movements and stretching movements while you're playing, that's also part of practice, and it's incredibly neglected. You know, it's practice your left hand, practice your intonation, and almost don't think about the rest of the body. It's actually crazy, because there's an awful lot of problems in the profession among players with pain. So try different things. If there's a problem, you have to be able to analyze it. Sometimes problems with the left hand lie with the bow. It's it's a mixed up world in the violin. Yes. Practicing is more than the mechanics of the left hand and the bowing. Practicing is a preparation for performance and music making. And I think a big part of practicing is actually releasing the body to help the hands do what they need to do. For example, if your bowing arm is rather tight, say in the upper half, in which case you go away from the piece that you're playing and just simply play some loosening, plain old strokes. Because I think a lot of practice is going back to things that make you feel comfortable, you know, almost your defaults, and re-establish them and get comfortable with your playing, and then you can take steps forward again. I think rather than practicing mistakes into your playing and frustrations and it's the same, it's the same, it's the same, I think it's a good idea to go back to something you know you can play and get the confidence back to instead of repeating and repeating and repeating and getting rather disheartened, because it is a big bit of practice, is being positive and determined and knowing how to focus on what it is that you actually want to do. So that's some ideas about practice, and next time let's talk about playing the violin. Bye for now.